Okay, so we're going to begin solving each equation after rewriting first in a simpler equivalent form. I'm not going to do all of these, especially because they were on the pretest. So we're just going to really look at part C here. Okay, I see 3x squared, or 3/4 x squared equals 5/4 x plus 1/2. I don't like fractions when I'm trying to solve. I prefer whole numbers, so that's the point of rewriting in a simpler equivalent form. I noticed that I could think about having a common denominator here, and that being 4. So I'm actually going to rewrite this as 3 over 4x squared equals 5 over 4x plus 2/4, which is the same as 1/2. And so now I can get rid of that 4 in the denominator. If I multiply everything by 4, that will cancel to get 3x squared equals 5x plus 2. At this point, I see a quadratic, which is noted by the square. Whenever I see a quadratic, I need to get this equal to 0 to begin to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5x and 2 from both sides so that I have it equal to 0, the equation equal to 0. 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, for quadratics now I either want to factor or use the quadratic formula. I'm not sure if factoring will work here, but we're going to try it first anyway. So I want to make my box and diamond. 3x squared goes here, negative 2. Multiplies to get negative 6x squared on top of the diamond and negative 5x in the denominator. Okay, so I need to think about two numbers that multiply to get negative 6x squared and add to get negative 5. I know 2 and 3 multiply to get 6, but they would both have to be negative to add to negative 5. And then if they're both negative, they would make a positive 6 instead of a negative 6. So it can't be 2 and 3. Other factors of 6 include 1 and 6. If I take negative 6 plus 1, I get negative 5. And negative 6 times 1 is negative 6 as well. So here's negative 6 and 1x. And I can take those and fill in the rest of my area model. So now I can pull out the greatest common factor. This first row, everything can be divisible by negative 2. The second row, an x. The first column, a 3x. And the second column's a 1. Now I have my factors. So I have 3x plus 1 times x minus 2. And this is replacing my standard form. So this is equal to 0. By zero product property, I can split this up into two equations, because anything times 0 is going to equal 0, meaning either 3x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. And you can solve by looking inside or undoing like I'm doing now. So you get x equals negative 1/3 and x equals 2. And there's our solutions. If you had a multiplier instead of a fraction here, you could always also divide. So I multiplied by 4, but if I had something where I had large numbers, I could divide out a greatest common factor as well. And that's solving by rewriting first in an equivalent form.